Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to the Operation Heal on Your Heart channel where we focus on healing, humor, and hot moving topics. All right, let's get it going. If you are new to my channel, please make sure you subscribe and you hit the notification bell so you can get all of the notifications when I drop Dear DJ, Damn DJ, Lit at 6, Live at 5, my shorts. I'm not playing, I'm coming at y'all neck. Okay? Okay. So if you are here, that means you're tuned into the healing segment of my channel where people write in their Dear DJ letters and I give my commentary and feedback to the letters that they have written. Please stick around and hear the feedback in its entirety because I want you to drop down in the comments and give your own feedback to the letter writer, and to me as well about the feedback that I have given them. Alrighty, so let's get it going. We ain't wasting no time today. Dear Deidre, I had two male gay friends. We hang out on a regular, and to be honest, being friends with the girls, with the W, is so much better than being friends with the girls. Anyway, those are my club partners. We go out and can dance till 4 a.m. in the morning if you let us. We gets down, you hear me? Recently, we went to an event, and one of my friends is having an issue with a girl because there's rumors that the girl's baby father might be bisexual and that he be sleeping with my friend. I'm here to tell you it ain't no rumor. My friend and that man gets down. You hear me? Anyway, at the event, my friend got drunk and started picking with the girl. After some back and forth, the girl spit on my friend and they started fighting. The girl had some people with her and they ended up fixing my friend. My other friend and I tried to get over there, but security pushed the crowd with us in and out the door. By the time our friend got outside, they were bleeding. I immediately called the ambulance and then and at that time the people that my friend was fighting were exiting the event and entering their cars. My friend went to the hospital and ended up having to get staples. Ooh. We all got home at 5 in the morning. As days went by, I was plain to see that my friend who had the fight felt some kind of way about it because all communication was dead. A week after the silence, my friend went on social media to basically say how he had to fall back from some friends or for safety reasons, etc. And when I commented under the post, my so-called friend immediately began dragging me, saying I'm a thot, I'm a bum, I have a body odor, telling my private business about me getting molested by a family member. That's a separate Dear DJ letter. Just saying mad shit. I understand my friend pissed, but I'm confused because why am I the only one being dragged? It was two of us there. I feel away because I'm a female, so why so much anger and aggression towards me? At the end of the day, even though he is one of the girls, he's still physically a man. There was another biological man present, and I don't see him being aggressive or disrespectful to him at all. What do you think I should do? Sign, just cause you losing, don't start picking and choosing. Take a sip of my water. Okay, so let me see if I could sum this altercation up as best I can, right? From your letter, what I got was that you and your two male gay best friends went to a party. One of them had an issue with a young lady. That one had a few drinks and he started, I guess, maybe antagonizing the young lady. The young lady didn't appreciate him antagonizing her, and she actually sorry you guys, that's cooking. She actually spit on him, and then it led into a physical altercation. During the physical altercation, the young lady had some friends with her, and it sounded like they ended up jumping your friend. And the reason why you and the other male gay best friend didn't jump in is because y'all got pushed out with the crowd because security, I guess, was breaking it up, whatever the case may be. So now when y'all got outside, y'all there trying to, I guess, console your friend and get the ambulance, and then y'all saw the other group of people come out and get in their car. And then y'all got in the ambulance, y'all got home 5 in the morning, y'all friend wasn't speaking to y'all, and then said something on social media, you responded, you got dragged. Okay. Ooh, child, what is with this physical violence? Stop the violence, okay? Stop the violence. Let's start there. Friendship. Friendship is a very tricky thing. Friendship is a very tricky thing. When you have decided to take on the role of being someone's friend and vice versa, there needs to be some conversation surrounding what that looks like on both ends. Because what I learned in my latter years is that everybody's view of things is different. You know, in any relationship with your cousins, with your mother, with your man or woman, with your friend, any relationship, I mean, all people's views are different about what those relationships are supposed to look like. You know what I'm saying? So if you decided to say, hey, I want to be friends with this person, I'm guessing more times than not, folks decide to be friends because they're like-minded, right? So you might view things the same way, you might go about things the same way, you know, so that's why you have chosen to befriend this person. One of the things that you shared was that y'all dancing down to the ground, y'all partied together, and that's one of the things that you love about being friends with these two individuals. You didn't say anything else about what you love being friends with them for, right? What I got from it is y'all can party and dance the night away, but other than that, I mean, you didn't give me anything else that would represent why you guys are so close and so tight and so on and so forth. Right? So now, here we go with a situation that's outside what you normally do with each other, which is we're moving into the area of when you have issues with other people, what that should look like for our friendship. Now, one of the things that you said was that your friend may or may not have been, but you said he was antagonizing the young lady that he's having an issue with, right? I would have to ask in a one-on-one session what your stance is in situations like that, right? Because like you said, they already had some form of smoke because of the rumors, and I would have to ask you, did you feel like it was okay for your friend to be doing the things that they were doing to the young lady? And the only reason why I asked that is because if you were condoning your friend antagonizing a young lady, then the same way that you were on board for that part of it, because that's only part A, you have to anticipate part B taking place, and you have to be on board for that as well. Because it doesn't go halfway. You have to either go all the way or none at all. So, if this is your friend, right, and you were on board with the antagonizing of the other young lady, I do understand your friend's frustration if you got off board when the altercation took place after I did what you knew I was doing and you was down with. But the other part of that is, let's just say you were not on board and you did not appreciate or you did not want to be a part of what your friend was doing to antagonize the young lady. Right then and there should have been your cue and your exit. Right then and there should have been your cue and your exit. And I say that because involuntarily you became, you know, an ally because you stuck around and you observed all of that and you didn't do anything and you didn't help me. You know, not to mention you also didn't say anything to the friend like, hey, you know, leave that alone. Hey, don't start no trouble. Hey, come over here. It seems as though you may have stood around and watched the friend antagonize the girl, watched the friend get spit on, and then kind of watched the friend get the shit beat out of him. Right? And I know that right there can be what makes or breaks a friendship. Right? So, okay. Let's start off by, you know, how like-minded are you and these individuals? And also, what, aside from dancing the night away, would you say is what makes you guys friends? You know what I'm saying? Because it seems like also when it went down, you know, when you guys got into what y'all got into, it seemed like a lot of verbal disrespect was spewed. And I mean, that was pretty quickly for some folks that are supposed to be friends. But I also can see how your friend was hurt because you guys, as my alleged friends, did what I feel was stood around and allowed what to happen. Right? So if you are a person that's like, listen, I'm not into antagonizing, I'm not into fighting, I'm not into bullying, I'm not into drama, then I'm going to have to ask about this friendship. Because it seems as though that's what that individual is definitely a part of. Now, I see people say all the time they have friends for specific things, right? So somebody will tell you, listen, this is my friend that I just go over the house and drink wine and vent about all my problems. This is my friend that I go to clubs with. This is my friend that I do yada yada yada, which I don't deny that works for folks, right? Because I can see how folks, would feel like you have to keep certain friend groups separate. I actually, to some degree, agree with that. But in order to keep them separate, you have to also make sure you know what's taking place with those folks and if that's something you want to be a part of. So even though you guys did go out to the club and like you said, you guys can dance the night away together till 4 a.m., that's one of the things you enjoy about being this person's friend. But it doesn't seem like this person, you guys were dancing. It seems like maybe you and the other gentleman was dancing. That one was over there starting drama. So if I came here with you so we could dance the night away and have the time of our life, what happened when you encountered that person in their drama? And what it looks like happened is, that part of you didn't want to be a part of that, so you kind of detached from the situation, right? Another reason why the person might be hurt, because I will say this, and again, I'm not promoting violence, right? But I'm just trying to show you the perspective that the other person probably could look at it from. If you are saying to me, hey, I couldn't get to you, security pushed us out, yada, yada, yada. Normally when folks are friends and the altercation takes place, you are just as mad as the person that had the altercation. When folks were coming out and they were getting in their car, if your friend is now bloody and can't get to them, I think he would be wondering if I think he would be wondering why you guys didn't try to get to these people, in my place. Because they've already beat me down. I'm already bloody over here. And before you said you didn't do anything because you couldn't, right? But now all it is space and opportunity for y'all to do something. What happened? Again, I'm not condoning violence. I'm just trying to give you the different perspective that he could possibly look at it from. Right? But I understand your point, which is, well, we didn't attack them, but we actually went and sat in the hospital with you till 5 in the morning. Mm, okay. Again, I do understand that you did what you could. I just think that the friend thought you guys could do a little more. And I think that's the disconnect in a friendship. I think that there's some expectations that one person has, and then there's some thresholds that one person can meet, and you guys haven't really had that conversation. And if you did, you may have misled the person to believe that you could meet their expectations. So I'll give you an example, right? If you have a friend who you just know for a fact they are non-confrontational, they don't like to fight. If you and somebody get into an argument somewhere, you kind of don't anticipate that friend doing anything because you already know that's not their style, right? That's not something that they would do. That doesn't come second nature for them. That's not what they're into. So it wouldn't shock you if that person didn't do anything. What it sounds like to me is that maybe when this person was telling you how they was getting down with this girl boyfriend and all that, you was there high-fiving and popping junk and acting like you was on board with it. And now when the things swing and they go down, all of a sudden you hands off and you feet out. So I think the person felt misled thinking that if it ever did go down, you would have my back and we would get down to it. I think there was a failure for you to clarify that this is not my thing. I don't do this. Unless you have possibly shared that you do. So, in any event, let's talk about what took place with you and your friend. So now one of the things that I could see probably triggered him, and once again, I'm not trying to make it seem as though all of this is just all your fault, but I do have to give you feedback for you and things that you could make things better because you were the letter writer, right? Now, in all fairness, he didn't say anything to you, and according to you, he didn't say anything to the other individual as well. He has been silent. But when he did go online to give some feedback, because it struck a nerve with you, a hit dog will holler, what you should have done is reached out to that individual privately. you should have reached out to that individual privately, because once you reach out to that individual privately, then we can have some dialogue time so I can know if your issue is with me or not. But because he didn't say your name, according to you, you didn't say he said your name, he just started saying he needs to fall back from some friends and so on and so forth. You felt offended by that because you felt like you were some friends, hit dog will holler, and because of that, your ego got in the way and you decided to respond, right? You also, you number one, responded on something that didn't specify that I was speaking about you, and also your response was in public. So were you looking for a resolution, or were you looking for an audience? Right? So now, once you respond in public, when actually, in all reality, I haven't said a motherfucking thing to you, and really and truly, I am probably still motherfucking pissed with you. Oh, now, here we go, guns blazing. Am I saying this right? Not at all. Not at all. But I can also look from both perspectives and see how he could be flustered. Come on. He could be flustered and frustrated and feeling like, how dare you come up here and have any motherfucking feedback when you had nothing for me when I was getting my soul stomped out. Make sense? So I think the best way to address that would happen privately. I also think the best way to address it would have been to reach out to him first. Because what you didn't say was that you tried to make any contact with him when he went silent. Right? And I know sometimes, oftentimes, most times, at least I know for me, when I feel that I have done a friend wrong, I will be like, hey, can we talk? Because I feel like there's a disconnect and something isn't right, and we need to have some dialogue about the way you might be feeling, because I'm a little confused, and either A, I don't know, or B, I don't agree. But we need to have that conversation, and I'm not going to just leave you out there feeling like that, right? So what I think is that you should have reached out to him throughout those days that he was radio silent. Now, had he continued to ignore you, then there's nothing you could do. Right? But once again, even if he would have ignored you, when he opened up the gates to have the dialogue about it by saying anything remotely close to it on social media, that's when you could have again reached out privately and said, hey, I've been trying to reach out. I see on social media you said something that could pertain to you and I. Do you want to talk? Now again, he may be one of those people that's like, no, bitch, I'm done with you, but I'm a pop you on social media. He has the right to do so. He has every right to do so. That's his platform, his feelings. He can do what he wants, right? I think you opened the door for him to unleash on you when, once again, you came and commented on something that I didn't directly address to you, and then you did it for the public to see, right? Do I agree with the name calling and the revealing of the business? I'm here to tell you, in my 42 years of living and having been in and out of friendships, you don't know what people will say and do when they're hurt. You don't know who people become when they're hurt. Right? So I think he was more so hurt because he feels as though you guys allowed him to get harmed and you did absolutely nothing. I could see your viewpoint. No. Number one, you antagonized that situation. Number two, what could we do when we were removed from the premises with everyone else? He doesn't have to accept that, and you don't have to understand him. You guys just have to figure out where you are. What I think is going to happen is I think you're going to start to feel more hurt than he was, even though this is really initially his situation, because some of the things that he said about you publicly. I don't disagree with that. I can definitely see from your viewpoint how you could feel a way about him just spewing all of your personal business on social media for the world to see when we were supposed to be friends. But I think you could also look at it as him saying, when you let me get my motherfucking soul stomped out in the club, were we friends? Once again, you don't know who people are. You don't know who they become. You don't know what they would do. And you don't know what they will say when they are hurt. Right? And that goes for friends, family, self-included. What I think is you, my dear, you might need to reevaluate if this is a friendship you want to continue with. And not because you're not in the wrong, but just because everything that transpired. And I don't just mean the end piece where it's like, oh, he told her my personal business. Let's go all the way back to the beginning. right? Do you want to be friends with a person that antagonizes the situation until it escalates to that point, right? Do you want to be friends with a person that doesn't want to communicate about their feelings regarding a situation that was unfortunate that they caused? Do you want to be friends with a person that would subliminally take your situation to social media? Do you want to be friends with a person who would embarrass, disrespect, and reveal all your personal information on social media? I didn't say you didn't do anything wrong. I'm just stating the facts of what the other individual did. Do you also want to be the kind of friend that when the going gets tough, you bow out? Do you want to be the type of friend that allows a person to isolate in their feelings, knowing that their ill feelings are towards you? Do you want to be the type of friend that encourages certain behaviors and then stands back when the repercussions of those behaviors are now unfolding? So this isn't just about reevaluating the friendship regarding your gay best friend. It's also about reevaluating the type of friend that you are. Were you a good friend in this situation? Did your friend feel supported? If you couldn't support, were you honest about that? Where were some of your shortcomings? Do you want to continue this friendship? If you do, what should that look like? What are some of the things that you are willing to change in order to move forward if you want to move forward? If you want to end the friendship, what does that look like? Does that have to be messy? Can we end it amicably? Like, there is some real live adult conversations that you need to have with self before you even entertain and engage your male best friend. About his issue, about him not saying anything about the other guy and only speaking to you and about you, well, from what it sounds like, you were the only person that spoke on the post. You don't know what he could have privately said to the gentleman. You also don't know what he would have said had the gentleman responded under the post. We can only speak about what took place between you and him because you engaged it and you entertained it. So, my dear, I do understand your frustration about the way he handled you. I think that that's one thing. I think being concerned about the way he handled the other friend is really none of your business. But I can see how there's some frustration here. My only question is, if he handled the best friend the very same way that he handled you privately, would it make it okay for the way he handled you? If he doesn't handle the other best friend the way he handled you, is it okay for him to have one set of rules for one friend and another set for the other? So once again, sweetie, these are real life conversations that you need to be really having with yourself before you can have any with your male best friend. There is something that you need to be having with self. Because one thing about it is when you go into any relationship, you have to show who you are and what you have. And if you're not sure about that, then how can you share that? And if the other person is not sure about that, they're only left to assume, what you would do, who you are, what you represent. And when you disappoint them in any of those assumptions, you become the villain. So you need to be very clear cut up front about what's going to happen moving forward, and then I think you need to take action. So like I said, one of the things is, listen, I'm deciding to end this friendship the way you want to end it. You need to be clear cut and you need to take action. If you're deciding to continue with this friendship and the other person is deciding to do the same, then you need to be very clear cut and you need to take action. But concerning yourself with what happened with the other individual and how he didn't handle the other individual or what took place with the other individual, it only taints what you and that person have to grow through. It really has nothing to do with you. This is about you and that one person. All right, my dear. So I hope you know. I would like to see. I've done Operation Hill 100 Hearts friend group sessions, and they actually went really well. I did 4 of them, and I remember one friend group having a really big breakthrough, which made me happy. And then I remember another friend group having a really big breakthrough that kind of made me sad because you know I'm all for togetherness and fixing things when need be, and I felt like that friend group could have moved past it, but I saw, you know, both viewpoints and I understood why they decided to separate, even though it still made me sad. So I'm always open to doing group sessions. I'm always open to doing one-on-one sessions. I always suggest one-on-one sessions initially because I like for folks to get what they need so they can go into the group session feeling confident, but that's pretty much up to you guys. I just would like to see everybody soon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I really have for this individual unless they write another letter or when they come in for their healing heart session. I hope I was able to provide some feedback that would assist in any way to help the situation move forward in a positive direction. Also, ladies and gentlemen, if you have stuck around, then that means you have already hit the thumbs up and you are currently typing as we speak your commentary in the comment section and say, Deidre, I think you did good, or Deidre, I don't like this feedback, or I have my own feedback, or whatever you feel might be able to assist the letter writer and me as well on my healing journey. In any event, like I always say, I thank you guys. I love you guys for tuning in and stay tuned because there's sure enough so much more to come on this channel. Thank you. I appreciate you guys.